Welcome to Mahjong Central. My name is Michele. I'm going to do some Charleston modeling for American style. If you already know how to play, you may enjoy this exercise. Try it yourself if you have a set. If you don't know how to play yet, there are links below this video for the lesson plan. I have all my tiles out. I got one rack. I'm going to take a random 13 tiles. I like to do this exercise as a non-dealer. I'm not sure why I started that way, but I'm used to it now. So I think one way you could look at it is if you are a non-dealer, you get 13 tiles. So when you're playing the game as East, you'll get one extra tile and you'll just feel like that's a bonus. So get used to 13, and then when you are a dealer, you get an extra tile. Next, I'm going to grab the mock Charleston, which is going to be 3 tiles in a row, 6 high. This is not an exact science. It will just mimic the tiles that you get during the Charleston. If you get any jokers, you got to put them back and get a replacement. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes with other exercises, I'll peek through these to pull out the jokers, but because we're not focused on speed right now, we'll just exchange them as we get them during the Charleston modeling. I'm going to go ahead and look at my tiles. And we have a couple flowers, a pair of East, a red. It looks like we have, oh, here's another wind. So we have a mixture of tiles here. This happens all the time when you get a couple of each suit, a couple winds and dragons. So it's a bit of a mix, isn't it? I want to build around flowers and the East. So I'm thinking East and West with flowers. If I'm going to try for East and West with flowers, I'm going to keep these 8s. Because I could also go for East and West with 8s. If I'm going to keep the East, since it's the Wind and Dragon category, I'm going to keep the Winds and Dragons too. So that gives me these tiles to get rid of. So my focus is Winds and Dragons, or like numbers. I could even do a quint if I draw in. That's my signature move, a quint with no jokers from the onset. Later, obviously, if you don't get any jokers, then you can't do a quint. But it's fun to dream. So let's discard one of each suit. So we'll just put those here and bring in our first pass. Well, for gosh sakes, I don't know if that would ever happen, but that's a little better situation than the 8s. We could play East and West with 4s, or we could play a quint. So let's give up those 8s. We'll pass one of each suit again. Now this is a little risky because it's all evens, but at least it's one of each suit. I was thinking we could switch to 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, let's just count what we have here. So we have 7 tiles towards 2, 4, 6, 8. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 towards Winds and Dragons, but you wouldn't use all of them. Maybe we should switch to 2, 4, 6, 8. Because we have 2 multiples, sometimes the multiples don't work together. Let's switch to a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand, because there is a 2, 4, 6, 8 with flowers. Let's see, which one is it? There's 2 of them, but they're an all one suit option. So there's only 5 there. It'd be nice to use these. We could do, though, like numbers, in which case let's keep the red, because you can do like numbers with flowers and a dragon, even though this is the wrong 4. We could draw it. So let's switch to 2, 4, 6, 8, which leaves us with these 3 tiles, and I'm not going to pass a pair. I'll go ahead and pass 2 winds, but I'm not going to pass a pair, so we have to pick. I'm definitely going to keep the 4 because I could play like numbers. I want to keep the 2 because I could do a 2, 4 in one suit, 4, 6 in a second suit, and then an 8 in a third suit. I'd have to throw away the flowers though. But that does remove one of the tiles from the keepers that I can go ahead and pass with. It's always good to try to move the Charleston along and try not to analyze. Oh, of course, then I get the 8. Okay, so we'll just keep that for, oh, look it, we got a 4. Okay, so now we have 2 multiples. I'm thinking like numbers at this point. And let's go ahead and save the 6 in case the 2, 4, 6, 8 in dots comes in. And here we can pass a wind with 2 number tiles. We got some passing tiles. Let's keep the 2. We could still maybe do a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. Let's just keep those. We got to give something up. Let's give that up. Oh gosh. Ooh, nice. Look at, we got the right dragon with the like numbers. And now we have some joker bait here. But we do have tiles to pass. However, I don't like passing like numbers. I'm going to go ahead and give up on the red, I think. Because if I kept the red, I'd have to throw away 3 tiles because I need the 4 bam if I'm going to use those reds. So I think I'm going to break up the red. Okay, that's the joker thing I was telling you about. You got to put it back. But we did get a keeper. And now we have tiles to pass. 1 of each suit. Last pass. 1 right across left, left across right. I think I had too many. Did I have too many? Right across left, left across right. No, this is my incoming right. And we got another keeper. So now we're on optional cross. And we have tiles to pass. Let's pass a 1, 6 red because there are hands that can use 1s and 5s in little odds, the 1, 3, 5 options. So let's pass those for optional cross. I don't think there's any dragons in here or 4s, but we'll just go through the motions. We got a 3 dot, a north, and an east. So we've got discards, which is just fine. So here we ended up with like numbers, which is a pair of flowers, a Kong of 4s in 2 suits, and then a Kong of dragons. So we just need to draw in some green dragons or jokers. That was a really good Charleston. Having 4 at the end of the Charleston, I would call that a successful Charleston. Let's do it again. Need 1 more. Okay, right across left, left across right. We got a joker this time. There's the winds. Okay, I am seeing a pattern. I don't know if you see it, but I sure see it. Oops, 1, 2, okay. All right, now we have 1 multiple to crack. I think we should play a year category. And when you play a category, you want to pull every tile that goes with that category regardless of suit. Just pull everything that you can use in that category and see what's left over for passing. So I don't have to pick a hand. I just found my category. And incidentally, you could be in between categories. Like we could play a like number also. So I want to keep every 1, 2, 7 and white dragon, or really any dragon, because there is a hand in the year category with multiple dragons. So we can pass some tiles. So we're playing either the year or like numbers. And we got a wind and some number tiles that don't really fit, which is fine. So I don't want to be left with a bunch of winds. I'm going to go ahead and pass these 3. 1 wind at a time is better than 2 winds at a time. Ooh, keeper. We got 2 keepers. Not sure how we're going to use them yet. We got 3 tiles to pass, but we got like numbers in there, and I think that's almost as bad as passing a pair. I try not to pass like numbers unless I'm really strongly, footed in my category or hand. And in this case, I think I should pick a hand. So I'm going to. And I think like numbers is probably the most likely, because that would use both of my multiples. I maybe could even play a quint. And I think still consecutive might work. If I had the red and the green dragon and maybe a flower, I might even go for the big hand. But we'd have to throw away, we'd have to break up 2 pair. Let's go ahead and give away the 1 bam. We got a 2 bam, so this like number opportunity is really coming in. Let's go ahead and give up these 3. Okay, so now we have like numbers and a 5. So I don't want to do that. I want to, at this point, pick a hand, because we're in either pick a hand or whittle down the category. We're in between like numbers and the year category. So for like numbers, or even a quint, there is a quint with like numbers, or we could do the year category using these. Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're in between. The quint, though, obviously is a higher scoring hand. I think we should give up on the 7 and break that up and pass 1 of each suit. Let's give up on the year category, because we could still switch to a consecutive hand as well. And I know there are 3s in there. We could get those back during the Charleston. Now we get the green dragon. Isn't that funny how that happens? Okay, so here we're left again with like numbers. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to break that up and pass a green dragon instead. Okay, here we keep getting 6s there. All right, now we have tiles that we can pass. It really doesn't matter. It's equally dangerous with the 6, because the 6 and the 4 go together, the 6 and the 9 go together, the 6 and the 4 mixed suit, they all go together. So it's equally risky, but we can pass these for optional cross. No keepers. And we are 6 away. Or if we played something consecutive, like maybe the 1, 2, 3 with 2s in the middle, for example, we could do that. So I'd say we're 5 away. So that's not bad. It could be better, obviously. We're in between consecutive run and like numbers, or even a quint with like numbers. So I would start discarding these and see what happens. We'll do this one more time. No jokers. We're on our own on this one. It is nice to have jokers, but they're not necessary. And if you have no jokers, don't say, I have no jokers. That just gives away vital information. Keep it to yourself and just make it work. Maybe play maybe play a pair hand or something. Okay, so let's see what we have here. I was thinking maybe we could play evens, but we have no twos. But I'd say let's try for evens or like numbers again, because we have all the fours and we have a lot of evens, even though we have a gap with no twos. Look at all the evens we have. We may not even be able to use that flower, but we can throw a south white and 9 bam. I really don't like throwing white dragons though, but I want to leave myself options here. I suppose I don't need all the 8s. I could probably give up on the 8 crack and mix that up a little bit. Let's do that. So we're going to try for an even hand or like numbers. We could even do the year, or not the year. I keep thinking year category. But we could do that pair hand with 2, 4, 6, 8. We'd have to break up this pair for it. But obviously we need 2s. So we got a 4. Now we have a pung. So we're not playing a pair hand. And here we have discards. So we have the 4, 8. Let's definitely save the 4s. Maybe we should switch to something consecutive, like 4, 5, 6 with 4. Yeah, let's see, that would be 3, 4, 5 with 4s in the middle. So we don't need that 6. Let's save dots. Now we could maybe switch to a lucky 13. Obviously we have no 1s and 3s. And we could even do a lucky 13 with mixed suits if it comes in. So let's try for like numbers or lucky 13 and pass these. Okay, now we got a 1. So potentially lucky 13 here. We need a 3 dot. Let's save the 4s for like numbers. Let's give up on the 8. Actually, no. Let's keep it because we could play 2, 4, 6, 8. All we really need is the 2 dot there. And we can pass these. I don't like passing the white dragon, but I'll do it right now. Okay, now, oh, we got a 3, but it's not the right 3. We need a 3 dot. We did get a 4 though, and now we have another pair. So I'm thinking we need to switch back to like numbers. I'm going to hold on to these. Sometimes I'll put another option upside down to remind myself this is plan A, this is plan B. If I happen to get maybe another 9 dot or a 3 dot, I could switch to lucky 13. And my plan B, if it's upside down, nobody at the table will know. If I turn my tile like that, everybody's going to know that it's a decision tile. During the pick and discard phase of the game, a lot of people will turn those tiles like that to indicate whether a tile has gone down, and I don't like doing that because it gives away information to people at the table. So I don't do that. I'll turn it upside down to identify plan B. That's not bad. That's not a bad idea. Okay, so let's pass these 3. Uh-oh. Butterfingers. Did you ever play hopscotch when you were little, and whenever you dropped your token, you had to say Butterfingers before you pick it up, just in case you drop it again? All right, so now we have a 2. It's funny how those come in after you make a decision another way. All right, let's pass one of each suit because that 2 is not going to help. We're in like numbers now. Well, yeah, we're going to break that up because that wouldn't help this at all. Maybe the East. Let's keep the East and give up on lucky 13. It's a long shot. We wouldn't need the 1 anymore either. Let's just do that. Put Put the joker back. Put the joker back. Okay, now we have a pair of 3s and we have some tiles here. So let's hold the 3s. It's a multiple and it's consecutive. So let's see what happens. We've got tiles we can pass here. So we're going to do the optional cross. And I know there are 3s in here. Maybe we could play the 3-4 consecutive pair hand. That would be really cool. Let's see if we get those 3s. You know how sometimes when you're playing and during the Charleston you see the same tiles going around? You can get them back. Not in this case though. So we have discards. I would say we're in between like numbers or consecutive. We could play 3, 4, 5 with 4s in the middle. Or, so let's see, we're 7 away from 3, 4, 5 with a gap. We have no 5s. Or we could play like numbers with flowers, so we have 6 towards that. Or we could play 3, 4 pair hand and we have 8. Really that pair hand is the closest, but obviously we'd need a 3 bam and a 4 bam, so we got a couple gaps there. Lots of options, and we have some discards. Let me know what you thought about that, Charleston Modeling. And if you came up with other ideas on those random pulls, write it in the comment section and I'll watch this video again and see what you saw. It's really interesting how everybody sees something a little different. And really, depending on where you start and how you make your decisions through the Charleston, you could be playing something completely different than somebody else who might have started with those exact same tiles. Really, every hand is viable if you make the right decisions along the way. And in this last case, we ended up with 4 discards. We had lots of options, but having 4 discards is, I think, a really good Charleston. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click subscribe. And if you have clicked subscribe, you should see a bell. If you click that bell right next to the word subscribe, you'll get notification of when I post new videos. Maybe I'll see you at the next Charleston Modeling for American Style. Between now and then, may all your picks be keepers.